Welcome back. In last week's episode, I had already spent a few days of the raw up on the property, turned up some little stags and decided to let them walk. After picking up my girlfriend and hanging out for a night, I was straight back up the mountain. I had 8 days left and I decided to camp, fully immersing myself with the deer. I was out here in hope of finding a giant. I was going to spend every second of light outdoors trying to make it happen. Click subscribe, throw me a comment below, and enjoy the craziest roller coaster ride of a hunt I've ever had. Camp set up, sun's going down. I'm gonna go drop halfway down a hill and start glassing. I still had over a week and a bit of my trip. I was trying to use optics to my advantage and not put too much scent around the property. I was focusing on the fringes of the native bush and hoping to start see where the deer came out on dark to feed. There's a big bench here and it drops down to a river. It's all dockland here. Into the hills, there's one more farm up there. So, about to let one rip, let her all go and see if I can just spark these boys up so I know where they are for the morning. I moved around a little bit to see if I could get eyes on them with the binos, but with the light fading fast, I thought I'd just leave it and knew where to start off in the morning. The sky is going mental. I was up every morning, hours before light, just to get into good positions high on the property to start stalking and listening. It had been long days, but finding rub trees that reached this high up had me excited that there were some big stags in the area. With some high winds one night, I found this fantail's nest knocked out. After I put it back up, it was super crazy. He seemed to just follow me around whenever I was on this game trail. I've dropped down here because I thought it would open up. Been dropping for like an hour. It is so dense.
As you can see, I'm in pretty thick stuff. But yeah, he was just tucked in under this tree. And I just stood still and we just like had a face off for half an hour. He was just slowly moving his head in between trees. But I've just given it like half an hour and moved down a little bit. Letting out some little doe calls, but I think he's long gone.
I was starting to get frustrated. I'd already spent a week in the bush and hadn't had any opportunities.
Like 10 minutes of light left. Stag over there. Oh, he just pushed him over a hill. Well, that was some excitement. He just kept sticking his head over the top. And yeah, he was just kind of onto me. Oh, that was super cool. It's just drizzling rain now. But yeah, he stepped out of the bush and was out there when I first filmed him. That was super rad. He just ran after one of the girls, like chasing her, trying to mate her. And he pushed one over the hill and the other one went the other way, so he was a bit frazzled. So I was running down, but then yeah, I went down a little bush. I went down a little hill and there's a little finger of bush which I didn't know was there. So I wasn't in the valley to go up and sneak over on him. I had to run back around, and as I was coming around, popped his head over and just glanced me. I tried to give him a little doe call, try and get him to run to me, and he didn't. So then I was kind of busted, but I was kind of in the open. There was one little bit of knee-high bush. I was like, this is my only chance. So I tried to do that, and he just was looking, and then I think the girls ran away. So yeah, he just took off. I didn't see where they went, but the wind was perfect. Everything was good. Yeah, crazy. It's cool to see him try and mount the doe. That's crazy. Anyway, it's dark and raining. I'm gonna walk home. It's about 45 minutes to camp, I reckon, if I don't take the wrong track.
It was nice to see the sun. My early morning hunt was another donut. Saw nothing, heard nothing, just got wet and cold like usual. But I'd found that stag the night before. I knew where he crossed the open ground, and from now on, every afternoon I was going to focus my attention on being in that area at that time and getting in position for an ambush.
It's dinner. I could actually see him from my camp. My tent up on the hill. I could see this rabbit in front of this bush. So yeah, just come around the top of him. Got him through here, 35 metres. There's blood and fur and it smacked him, so arrow's probably in the grass here. Actually gonna have some meat with my noodles. That's gonna be nice. Some little hair back straps. And then I'll have them in the morning. Some little drumsticks. Oh well, it's a good start to the evening hunt. I'll cut that in my backpack and we'll go look for these deer.
Rabbit feet are meant to be lucky, right? Well, I just took it for granted that hare feet are also lucky and chucked it in my bag. With the climate being so different to Australia, I decided to just hang this meat up in the tree and come back that night and get it, chucking it straight in the New Zealand fridge. I still had about 2.5 hours till I wanted to get into that zone where I'd seen that stag. I wanted to make sure I was there probably half an hour before I seen him, just to make sure the wind was doing its thing, cooling at night and rolling down off the hill. I decided for now to stay this side of the ridge, go down in a gully and see if I could coax out another stag or see if something was in the area. With nothing coming in, I started working my way over to the spot. I was hugging the tree line. Just in case he was out in the open, I would still have some cover. I didn't get far and I thought I should just put my bag down, have a drink and get really prepared.
I just stopped for a drink, looked up, right fucking there, right there.
It was 45 minutes early and on the opposite side of the clearing. I'd just finished having a drink, thrown my pack over my shoulder, and as I reached down to pick up my bow, he just stood there, half exposed out of the bush. We locked eyes. He was a huge 6x6. We stared at each other for a good 15 seconds. I stayed dead still, and as he sniffed the air for danger, in no time, he got wind of me and took off. I was shattered. My plan had almost worked. It was just super unlucky to get caught out with my bow on the ground. For those of you who have been following my journey, you would know what's gone into getting me to this point. It was frustrating. I'd done a full 2-week trip to find this spot. I'd already done a 2-day hunt this trip, had gone back for supplies, and now I was on day 5 of camping up in the hills, wet and cold. I was stoked to lay my eyes on a big boy finally, but I felt like I deserved it. And I was just super rattled that it had played out the way it did, having my bow on the ground. But at least I was finally finding where these deer were hanging. There was still hope.
Oh yeah. Rabbit backstrap. Rice is done. Probably the best meal you could have in the bush. Well, it's raining, so I'm eating in the tent. But that's good. Hopefully it'll snap freeze a bit tonight, and maybe it'll bring the stags on in the morning. Well, it's pretty disappointing. I heard a few roars that are like valleys and valleys away on other properties. So I only heard really a few roars that first morning, and then I heard that one at night, and then I saw that deer the following night, that stag run across the open paddy. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not that confident of getting it done at the moment. I don't know, I feel like they're pretty hammered by guns, so pretty nocturnal animals. Anyway, I'm going to drop back in the bush where I saw that one bedded up yesterday. Come to 2 tree lines now. And there's a stag calling every like 20 minutes. I just let one rip to see if anything would happen, but I don't know, the wind was swirling when I came out. I don't know if he got wind of me and ran off, or could just be sitting down here, but just trying to
take it real slow. I haven't been. Well, we're just sneaking back out. I was down there for a good hour. Just can't hear him anymore. Anyway, go find my bag. I left it 2 hills over. Cook some noodles up. There's my bag. Let's go find somewhere dry. Out of the rain. Make some food.
Hunting is not easy. It's not called catching, it's hunting. My only motto is all day outside, and the more time in the bush, the more chance you have. Many times I find animals while sitting down at lunch. You don't move, you switch off, and they walk out. It also makes you stop and think about your next move, and pushes some of that frustration to the side and gives you a break. By this point, mentally, I was broken, and having a deadline of only 4 days left was starting to stress me out.
Well, the sun just came out. How good. All of that's coming straight across. So I don't think it's going to last long.
Started making my way over to that same zone, hoping I'd see that stag again. I had put so much scent over the ground, I didn't like my chances. But as I came over the crest in the middle of the paddock, huge white tips appeared at 10 metres. I dropped to my knees, knocked an arrow, and he scented me.
Just heard him pull in the timber.
I had practiced a frontal shot, shooting at 45 metres for 3 months. The shot was 41. I'd hit him, and as I looked back, I saw he did a complete backflip, and I thought my shot was perfect.
Yes! Creatures of habit. That was sick. I just walked over, seeing the tops come, ducked. Just, yeah, it's all kind of a blur already. They used to, like, I'd got an arrow on. I could just see his tops and his eyes were just over the ridge. Knocked an arrow. They ran, I just gave a little call. He pulled up, looked back, and I just shot him. I think it was a good shot. So I heard him run over into the bush and crash. So I have to go find him. Might even let him leave him tonight and go find him in the morning. I think it was a good shot, but just rather not push it. Just let him, if he lays down and stays there, he won't move. Also mental, he ran in, went that way, and all of a sudden this big dog with two other does just came out, flared up, had big tops on him and everything. I only have my iPhone, but that was sick. He's huge. Holy shit, look at this thing. That's a dinosaur. Look at that thing. Holy shit.
I was stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Just gotta wait till they lose interest here. Wind's good if they drop down in that valley in front of me. Let's go.
In the dying light, after a 10-minute stare off, this huge stag turned and walked back into the bush. It was an insane experience. I'd never seen a deer that big. Through the binos, he was an 8x8 with possibly some extra points hanging off the crowns. I couldn't believe that the commotion of my stag running into the bush and falling had pushed a dinosaur like this out. I had a quick look in the dark for my arrow or some blood, but with the rain pouring down and not wanting to bump the stag if he was bedded, I packed up my camera gear and knew I'd have to come back tomorrow. It was going to be a long, sleepless night.
Well, we spent 3 hours getting ripped to shreds. And just trying to find that deer. Devastated. It's like super thick and drops off a cliff onto blackberries and then a cliff to the river. Spewing.
I'd rewatched that footage over and over. I wasn't giving up. The way that deer had jumped and flipped in the air, plus the smacking, popping noise of the arrow, I was super confident and I wasn't giving up.
Look how steep this is. Got my birdie friend back. Oh. Hey mate, you helicopter me out of here.
Alright, as you can see, I got a boomstick. I'm back in the zone where I saw this deer that I shot run into the bush. I've already spent a day and a half looking for it, but I'm going to put in another day today. If I don't find it, I think I'll just head home. I heard him fall, that's the thing, but this bush is so thick. First 2 meters of this bush. And I'm on a game trail. So as you can see, it's gonna be hard to find this guy. It rained that night, I didn't find any blood. Oh, it's gonna be a long day again.
This is my game trail. There's another one that way. I'm down into the blackberries and the thistles.
These are at perfect height for a nibble. I'm telling you, people want to come to New Zealand. It's the sharpest, steepest, prickliest bush and everything. I suppose there's no snakes and spiders, but every branch just sticks to you and cuts you. I'm gonna give this another 2 hours. Try and find this deer. Alright, I'm back at the top. Trying one more area. When I was sitting up on the hill, when I heard him go in, it sounded more to the left. It's just super frustrating because I heard him fall. Like you hear when animals fall in the bush, like they fall and roll, and I heard all the trees break and it was just silent. So it's just a bit a bit devastating I can't find him. I've just dropped back in again. There he's just, it's just so thick. I'm gonna do another 100 meters that way. I'm calling it. Pretty devastating. It's probably a deer of a lifetime for me as well. Sick that I come across one and got a good shot on him. I heard him fall. It's just the most annoying thing. Like I heard him crash.
In the last ditch attempt, I remembered I had my drone back in the hire car. So I walked 3 hours back out, got the drone and flew it over the dense bush, just hoping to spot it. Well, maybe I needed 2 of these. I can't thank Mason Aaron enough for having me at their property and letting a stranger they just met camp out. It was epic. And now it was over. Time to relax.